Okay, been having an issue. I don't have no brake lights on the Creamsicle. And so digging in, I found a couple issues that I'll point out to you, and it explains exactly why I don't have any. All right. When I replaced the power booster and master cylinder, and that thing's dusty, quick. It came with a switch here that was only one wire. And that won't work because these take two wires. If you look over at the battery, which is new, the only wire coming off of it is the main battery cable going down to the starter solenoid. All right, now to this. These two red wires right here go all the way down under the truck, all the way back to the taillights. One wire is spliced into this black wire right there. That wire goes up right there into the cab, and this other black wire goes up here to a bolt for a ground. Those go to that third brake light. So upon investigation, down here you have a yellow wire and a black wire, a green wire, and I think that's brown. So there's no power wire going to that switch. I have been pulling all kinds of wires like this that go nowhere out, tracing ones like this and taking them out. Those are the two black wires laying on the floor, going underneath the seat back. All these wires off of the turn signal switch mechanism come down, connect here. So I need to figure out which wire comes off the ignition switch accessory side and feeds in to here, and then run a fused hot wire from the battery to the top side of here, the switch, take these two wires off, run them inside the cab, back and forth, and find the right and the left and tie into here. And so it would be the yellow and the green wire. So those two wires have got to get hooked up. These two. Those two wires have got to get connected to those two red wires. And there's because it should be, those two should be for the park lights, front and rear, or front turn signals and park lights. This wire I gotta find out, it's blue. I need to find out where it goes. So that's what's on the list. Hopefully once I get that all taken care of, I'll have brake lights. I mean, Wiring for the heater is just laying over there, the black wires. This red wire, that was hooked up for a radio, and oh, that was jimmy rigged in so many places and tied up into a mess up underneath the dash. I got this lever free for the air. This one, it'll go to that point and towards off for the temperature, but it won't go all the way over to the high. And I don't know why. Well, that does control the dampers on the heater box. That heater switch is doing nothing. Let me climb up inside here. I mean, you just pull it right out. When you go to turn it, it doesn't do nothing. It just spins and spins and spins. The switch, oh, that's where that red wire goes. And it's not hooked up. Okay. As you noticed, somebody made that huge plate for the steering wheel. They didn't seal this or put a screw in there or seal that. You can see all these holes in that cover. It looks like somebody took an axe to that. And on the shifter, it's not even bolted. So it rocks. Get my pad out of here. This is a patch that somebody had put in here. They riveted it. Then there's this piece of 3/16. Then you have all these other bolt holes. That are all going to have to be welded. This is the extent of the rust on the cab corner. I'm going to have to dig all these plastic bags out to find out if there's rust back there. I'm guessing there probably is. Yep, there's Bondo. And this, the body mount right here is broke. And this side's solid, but if you look at this gap, boom, pinches. Fender door. On this side, we got more holes. And another patch. You can see where the floor is separating from the cab. See, same thing on this side, the rust, plus a bolt that's broke off. So that could explain why my door sags. But where this patch is, and the same on the other side, is where the cab body mounts are. And I don't know, this side's not even fastened down in here. I mean, that's like cardboard. Yeah, Swiss cheese. That is a piece of metal. So I don't even think there's a body bolt here on either side from looking at it. And with these being rusted underneath the actual mounts, brackets, that's what's causing the cab to sag in the front, causing that problem with the door jamb. Another issue is this hood hinge sets up that far above the fender, okay? And this side of the hood actually sets lower than the cab here, where on this side you can see it's almost touching the fender, and the hood sits above this part of the cab. So I don't know. For right now, I just want to get the brake lights fixed so I can take it down and get the plates on it and get it registered. Get that taken care of. And hopefully in December, I can start actually cutting that floor out, repair the rust on that floor in those two spots. I'm going to cut it right along this edge here and straight up this way, straight up the firewall through here and down below the windshield. That way I'll keep this windshield wiper. I'll have these hood hinges, these fender mounts. I'll have that sleeve for the steering wheel. I'm not sure if I'm going to go back to using that air conditioner and heater. Probably will. And of course I'll have to cut back here's the factory mounts on this. But because this cab is 7 inches longer, it means I'll be cutting somewhere up in here. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. And then I was trying to get the horn working. I didn't find a horn relay in here. And this wire goes up into the bottom of the steering column, and this other wire goes into the bottom of the steering column, but it goes up into the firewall right there. So I'll have to trace that out, put a horn relay in it for the meantime. But the brake lights are more important right now, so I'm going with that. And this was a military vehicle at one time. It's got the military ID plate. So, anyways, that's where I'm at. Oh, yeah. The damage I found is this is all smashed in on that fender well. It shouldn't be that way. So I don't know if somebody heated it up and hammered it in. It's got some nasty wrinkles in it. So I'll probably end up cutting that out and forming a new piece to put in there. And I did discover that whoever hacked on the frame, they even welded that square tubing in there 1 inch to stiffen the frame. And I don't think the frame was wrecked. what it looks like is when they cut out stuff and torched things off the frame. They actually weakened the frame. So that's it for now. I'll do an update once I get the brake lights working and hopefully have plates on it. Probably Wednesday, hopefully, or Thursday at the latest. But thanks for watching.